1 year ago, a CT scanner looked inside my chest and gave my heart a score, 505 calcified arteries. That is not a number you want to see. It's calcium built into the walls of your heart arteries. It's the hard evidence of decades of plaque. And I was trained to believe that number does only one thing for the rest of your life. It only goes up. Then 3 months later, I scanned the arteries in my neck, the carotid arteries, with the ultrasound. And the plaque there virtually disappeared in 3 months. And I didn't start a statin or baby aspirin. I just changed the way I ate, how I exercise. I started fasting in the second month. If plaque can reverse, can a vitamin push it there? Or which vitamins? So today I'm going to answer that for 4 vitamins you ask me about most. Vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K2, and vitamin B3, otherwise known as niacin. I looked at the human trials and animal studies on all 4 of these this week. By the end of this video, you will know which ones are worth your money, which one is mostly hype, and which one can actually hurt you. So stay to the end for that last one, because a lot of people are taking it right now thinking it is protecting their heart. Before the first vitamin, one idea, because without it, you will get fooled. There are 2 completely different kinds of proof in this world, and supplement marketing lives in the gap between them. The first is a picture of your artery, the thickness of the wall, of the arterial wall on the ultrasound, the calcium on a CT scan. Those are surrogate markers. They're lead indicators, and they can be made to look better in a year or 2 or 3. The second kind of proof is what actually happens to you. So every time you hear that something reverses plaque or lowers a blood marker, your cholesterol, ask the second question. Even if it reversed on a scan or lowered your cholesterol or sugars, is it actually keeping a person alive and well? So hold on to that, because we're going to use it on all 4. So let's start with vitamin C and start with a fact most people do not know. You cannot make vitamin C. Your body lost the gene for a deep inner past, which is why, unlike almost every other animal, you have to eat it every single day. It's water soluble, so you don't store much. And the best sources are bright plants. Half a cup of raw red pepper has about 95 milligrams in a few slices. A kiwi has about 64 milligrams. Broccoli, oranges, strawberries, all loaded. You need about 90 milligrams a day for maintenance. A little more if you smoke, because of the oxidation. So what does it do for an artery? It does 2 big jobs. It's required to build collagen. The protein of your artery wall is literally made of collagen. So without it, the wall turns fragile. And vitamin C is an antioxidant that protects your LDL cholesterol from the damage that makes it dangerous, oxidation. The deficiency disease of vitamin C is called scurvy. Used to happen on the ships when sailors ran out of leafy green vegetables and fruits, and one of its signs is blood vessels falling apart. In fact, half a century ago, animals starved of vitamin C grew lesions that look exactly like atherosclerosis, and feeding them vitamin C healed those lesions. So does extra vitamin C reverse plaque in people? Well, the honest answer, we don't see it in the studies. Vitamin C from food is linked to slower plaque, but not reversal. And here's the part nobody quotes. In one careful study, vitamin C from supplements was linked to faster thickening of our arterial wall, dose by dose, while vitamin C from food was not. An orange and a pill are not the same thing, so the bottom line on vitamin C, never be deficient. Get it from plants and fruits, not from a giant capsule. Eat the rainbow, skip the megadose. I'm taking 1 to 3 grams of vitamin C daily based on Linus Pauling's hypothesis of preventing oxidized LDL from binding to the plaque. So it's more preventive for me than reversal. Second vitamin, vitamin D, which is barely a vitamin at all. It's more like a hormone. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, and your body makes it in your skin when sunlight hits your skin. That's why deficiency is so common in winter, people who stay indoors, and in people with darker skin. And this is the one vitamin where eating plants will not save you, because plants have almost no vitamin D. Sunlight is a real source, with ultraviolet exposed mushrooms and fortified foods a distant second. You need about 600 international units, IUs, a day, and the safe ceiling is 4,000 IUs. On paper, vitamin D looks perfect for your heart. It calms inflammation, supports the lining of your blood vessels, helps control blood pressure. And people who are low in vitamin D really do have more plaque, so you would expect the supplement to help. It doesn't necessarily show. The big trials are clear. Vital, 25,000 people, no drop in heart attacks or strokes. Pull more than 130,000 people and the answer still holds. Low vitamin D is real, but is more likely a sign of an unhealthy life than the cause of the disease. Fixing a true deficiency is good medicine. Expecting the pill to melt plaque is not. And there is a warning. In animal arteries, too little vitamin D and too much vitamin D both increase calcification. It's U-shaped, and more is not always better. That is the case against the giant doses that are trendy right now, especially if you're not getting the next vitamin, which is no accident because vitamin D controls how much calcium is in your blood, and vitamin K2 controls where that calcium goes. Fix a real deficiency, get sensible sun, don't megadose, and if you supplement it, pair it with vitamin K2. I'm aiming for 60 to 80 level of vitamin D. I hover around 50 even with supplementation during the winters. Now we're heading to the summer, so I don't really need to supplement. Before the next one, I want your skin in the game. Of these 4 vitamins, which one do you think has the strongest evidence for actually reversing plaque? Type your guess in the comments right now. Vitamin C, D, K2, or niacin. One word. Then keep watching because the answer is split between 2 of them in a way that surprised me, and one of them comes with a serious catch. Vitamin K2 has the most beautiful mechanism in this whole video. First, let's clear up the confusion because it trips up almost everyone. Vitamin K1 and vitamin K2 are not the same vitamin. K1 is the kind in leafy greens, and your liver grabs almost all of it for blood clotting. Vitamin K2 is different. It comes from fermented foods and from bacteria. And the form that matters most, called MK7, is the highest in natto. It's long-acting. Natto is a fermented soybean dish. So K2 is the one that talks to your arteries. K2 switches on a protein called matrix GLA protein, GLA protein, the most powerful natural brake on arterial calcification you have. When K2 is around, that protein pulls calcium out of your artery walls and sends it to your bones and teeth where it belongs. When K2 is missing, calcium drifts into the arteries instead and the soft tissues. That's the calcium paradox. Soft bones and hard arteries at the same time. And we have proof it is real. The blood thinner warfarin works by blocking vitamin K, and long-term warfarin users get more arterial calcification. Block vitamin K and arteries harden. In a famous rat study, scientists calcified the animals' arteries on purpose, then fed them a diet high in vitamin K, and the calcification went backward, vitamin K2. The calcium came out of the wall. For actually reversing calcification, K2 has the strongest animal evidence of any vitamin there. But in humans, the proof is not finished. People who eat a lot of K2 have less heart disease, but the supplement trials so far have mostly improved the lab markers without clearly shrinking the calcium on a scan. Though one recent trial looked more hopeful. So bottom line on K2, the best mechanism, the best animal data, and the human proof still being written. So eat fermented foods, and if you take vitamin D, pair it with vitamin K2. And if you are on a blood thinner, don't touch vitamin K supplements without your doctor's guidance, because the same thing that protects your arteries can undo your medication. Now, the one I told you to wait for, vitamin B3, also known as niacin. There's 2 forms of it, and one acts on the arterial wall. Niacin is water soluble, and you get plenty from food. But the niacin used for heart disease was never the vitamin. It was a drug, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams, 100 times what you really need. And at that dose, it does things that look amazing on a lab report. It lowers LDL, lowers triglycerides, lowers lipoprotein little a, and raises HDL. And it moves them a lot more than anything else we have. And on the scans, it worked. Niacin shrank plaque in the arteries in study after study. So this should be the hero of the video, which is exactly why I made you wait. But remember the rule, we do not care about the picture, we care about what happens to the person. So the arterial plaque shrinks. There's some side effects with taking niacin, high dose. At 500 milligrams, I had this strange flushing feeling. I really didn't like it, and I decided I'm not going to take niacin, especially when I knew what's coming next. The question is, does it save lives? In a trial called AIM High, over 3,400 patients on statins added niacin, and it prevented 0 net heart attacks and strokes. They stopped the trial early. Then a bigger trial, HPS2 Thrive, over 25,000 people, showed no benefit, and worse, real harm. More new diabetes, more infections, more bleeding. After that, the expert told doctors to pull back on niacin. The animal biology is real, by the way. Niacin cuts plaque in mice by up to 78%. It just did not rescue actual people, but it hurt some of them. That's the whole lesson in one molecule. A better scan is not necessarily a longer life. I'm not telling you to take high-dose niacin for your heart, and you should never start it without a doctor and a real reason. Many people are taking this niacin. I'd love to hear from you on the benefits if you do have any. The next question I pondered is, do these vitamins work as a team or are they entirely separately? Is there synergy? Mostly they work on their own, but there's one partnership, as I said. Vitamin D raises the calcium in your blood. Vitamin K2 decides where it goes, into your bones and not into your arteries. So pairing these two makes sense. The rest are solo acts, and notice the pattern across all 4. None of these 4 vitamins is what reversed my plaque. The foundation of diet and exercise and fasting did. In the fasting, it's the autophagy, the cellular renewal. A whole food, plant-based diet, very low in fat, 10%, no smoking, high intensity exercise, driving my LDL and ApoB down, controlling blood pressure and blood sugars, sleep, fasting. That's the engine for me. The vitamins are passengers. I get vitamin C from bright plants, vitamin D from the sun, and a supplement only if my level's low during the winter months. And I get my vitamin K2 from natto, from fermented food, and niacin I leave to a doctor with specific reason. It's on my list, but much lower because of what we discussed. So food first for me, if possible, every single time. And I have to say this, I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor, and this is education, not medical advice. I'm just showing what I have studied and the studies that I've read. So talk to your doctor who knows your numbers before you start or stop anything, especially niacin, high-dose vitamin D or K2 if you're on a blood thinner. Before you go, 3 quick things. First, tell me in the comments of these 4, which ones you're taking right now and what benefits you have. Are you going to keep on taking them after this video? I read the comments and I learn from you. Number 2, if this helped you, subscribe. And number 3, send it to someone you love who has a heart, because the best time to protect an artery is years before anything ever goes wrong. And I'll see you in the next video. These videos save lives. Tag me, like, subscribe, and ask your questions below. Click one of these videos and share it with someone you love. Together, we will save lives. For my up-to-date learnings and more, visit me at ham.com.